Hey, Magic community, it's Brian at Champions Archive. I wanted to have a conversation with you about something that's been ruminating in my mind for the last few months, which is the state of Magic play at the store, where it has been, where it is, and where it's going. And I say a conversation, even though I'm about to talk at you for several minutes. I very much mean that I want it to be a conversation. Responses are strongly encouraged. With that in mind, let's get into it. So the store has been open for about 5 months now. We celebrated our 5 month anniversary 2 days ago. And in those 5 months, I've tried very hard to stick to what I believe is the core principle of the store, which is that this is a play space first and a retail store second. Um, excuse me. I wanted this local game store, this LGS, to be a play space that's welcoming to everyone. Excuse me. A place for gamers and hobbyists to gather with their friends and others who share their passions to make new friends. I've also tried to be personally invested in the community, to be transparent as I possibly can about everything, to build trust, and hopefully at this point you trust that everything I do is with the intention of making the community here stronger and better, and that that's something I really believe in strongly. Um, so there are a few parts to the formula of an LGS and this LGS specifically. So one part of it is my vision for what I want the archive to be for the Magic community here. Another part is that we're in a pretty unique situation. Not only is this an LGS in a small town, it's an LGS in a very remote town. To get to another LGS, it's 2 hours. To get to one with a bigger Magic community, you're probably looking at 4 hours. Um, and so, because we're isolated, we're all more dependent on each other. And because we're smaller, every member of the community matters more, if all that makes sense. And so, what's going to organically arise here is going to be very different than what organically arises in a bigger city where you have 5, 7, 12 LGSs that players are constantly moving back and forth between. Um, we have what we have, and we gotta make the best of the players that we do have. And so to do that, this conversation is largely going to be an invitation to the Magic community to consider doing more broadly. One of the other, and I guess the final piece of the puzzle for the formula of what an LGS is that I'd like to talk about is that things are different here for the Magic community than for any of the other communities here, and probably at other LGSs too, where Magic is maybe not the top priority. Because here, Magic is the top priority. I've been a lifelong Magic player, and I have only the vaguest understanding of how many of the other games in the store work, with a couple small exceptions. Unfortunately, my role as shopkeep has to come first. I can't be the leader of the Magic community. Um, leadership of the community is a role that all the other hobbies have picked up for themselves, and unfortunately, the Magic community has not had the same thing, and has sort of relied on the store and the community to be um, to just sort of keep itself going rather than have any definite leaders or people who are willing to take initiative. And I want to take partial responsibility for that on account of probably having a consistent schedule of Magic events maybe has made people within the Magic community feel like they shouldn't or weren't welcome to, um, or just didn't make sense for them to like initiate their own thing. Um, if you've ever thought that, please don't. I'm giving you full permission. In fact, encouraging you to um, make the store and the community here be what you want it to be. There are two really good examples of that have happened at the store here so far. Being the two of them being Star Wars Legion and the Digimon trading card game. Both of those games were not even stocked at all by the store when we opened October 14th. Both of those games saw a community-driven effort to encourage play, to teach new players to coordinate schedules and have casual events. Leaders in those two communities, by the way, basically just one guy in each community, um, led to the growth of those games to the point where Digimon has gone from a game we didn't even stock to slowly surpassing everything else. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon is now the second best-selling TCG in the shop after Magic the Gathering. basically on the back of one guy's enthusiasm for the game and building the community that he wanted to have here. And Star Wars Legion, much the same game, much the same, much the same way. I'll have to edit that out. That's funny. Um, Maybe I won't edit it out. Maybe this video needs a little humor. Much the same way, one guy carried the Star Wars Legion community on his back, and now there's 12 people here with Star Wars Legion armies that know how to play the game, enjoy playing the game. We have shelves of stocked product on a game that the store didn't have it all when it opened. So this kind of organic growth model has been seen with other hobbies, but has been less so with Magic due to lack of leadership. Um, so I think this is a fixable problem. I feel very strongly that this is a fixable problem. Fortunately, I don't think it even is going to take very much. All it really needs is one passionate person who's willing to stick themselves out there, expose themselves, be a little vulnerable, try to organize a casual commander event maybe on a day when there's no event scheduled at the store. That would change things immensely. You're absolutely going to face some failures when you start. The guys with Digimon and Star Wars Legion did all the time. There was plenty of apathy to begin with, but if you keep at it and continue to have enthusiasm for the game and continue to be passionate about it, over time, the Magic community here will begin to respect you and will start to follow you if you behave like a leader. So there's big asterisks to this because you're probably thinking, Brian, this all sounds great, but it's kind of ridiculous because I've got two jobs and three other hobbies, and I get it. People are busy, schedules are messy. A trading card game is pretty far down the priority list after like work, family responsibilities, whatever else you have going on in your life. And it shouldn't be a top priority for everyone. Absolutely. But I don't think that means that it can't be from time to time a small priority, that you can't make a sacrifice here or there for the Magic community, even if it's just your pride being sacrificed when you try and get a commander pod together and nobody happens to respond that night. If you push through it, you will eventually succeed in getting more Magic play and more of the Magic play that you want to see in the store if you take the initiative to get those types of play going. The only way to get good at something is to suck first, and that applies as much to leading a Magic community as it does playing the game. So, I would like to humbly invite more Magic players to step up and be the leaders that the community needs. There are a ton of players here. Um, Really, it's well over 50, maybe 60 if I looked at it. Different people who have attended Magic events here at the store. And now, getting all of those players engaged consistently has been a struggle. Feedback is absolutely needed, very desperately, by the community. We're always going to respond to whatever feedback that I get at the store. In the past, there's been a little bit of feedback as regarding like time slots. So we've moved events around the schedule, like 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., or push stuff back, move stuff up, whatever. Tried to like make times more accommodating for people. A lot of the feedback I get is basically just how many people show up at events, and that tells me what type of events I should hold in the future. Almost every event on the schedule that we've added since the store opened has been based on player feedback. So that kind of stuff really does affect like what goes on at the store here. I love to hear what you guys are thinking all the time about anything. Even if I ignore it, or like don't act on it immediately, it's still super valuable information to have and may eventually lead to a change. And then I would say, if you can't be a leader, please try to be an attentive follower. If you like that there's if you like that there's a Magic community here that you can join and have fun with when you want, I would ask you to consider that you have a responsibility back to that community to engage with it and to contribute to it in whatever way that you can. So, based on the event attendance for the last few months and what I've seen, this is kind of what I've been thinking about, is looking at scaling things back pretty drastically. New Capenna pre-release events still need to be scheduled. The schedule from now until New Capenna pre-release is going to be identical to what's already on the board. Um, yeah, I asked for some New Capenna some feedback on New Capenna on the Discord. I'm deadly serious about it. If I don't have feedback, like no feedback is feedback. So if I don't get any feedback, I'm gonna assume the worst and schedule events accordingly. And this is all kind of it's sad to me because pre-release events should be pillars for the Magic community. They should be a time when players of all formats can come together on a level playing field with new cards that nobody's seen before and play Magic in its truest and purest form. And I want to do whatever I can to make that vision a reality at the archive, but I really need your help and your feedback to do it. And again, I would call back to the fact that this is a small, isolated community, and so this is one of the things where um, the local game store experience here is going to be a little more personal and tight knit than it would be in a bigger city. If we want this as a Magic community, if we want this place to succeed, um, we all need to sort of band together a little more tightly. And I need you guys to help me figure out what's going to make the community here better. And that starts, I think, in large part with pre-releases and making them as cool and as big and as awesome as possible. So please give me some feedback on that. The reality is the store continues to grow in almost every capacity imaginable, with the exception of Magic Gathering event attendance, which is really strange to me. It's definitely a solvable problem, but I can't fix it on my own. So, yeah, please respond to the New Capenna pre-release stuff. I want to know what you're thinking. So, if you enjoy Magic the Gathering, if you like having a community and a play space to play it in, if you like having a place where you can get sealed product cheaper than big box stores, and if you like having all of that in Southwest Kansas instead of hours away, I really need you, whoever you are listening to this video right now, to pick up some small amount of responsibility to your fellow Magic players that live here with you in Southwest Kansas. Whatever you think you can manage, any small piece is significant. You know, if it's giving me feedback or responding to that survey or talking to events, talking to your friends about events, or coming to more events yourself, or trying to initiate or engage with more casual pickup events, any of those are awesome. I know also that at several points in the past, some feathers have been ruffled here and there between players over attitudes or the way games are played. First, first thing I want to say about that is to commend and thank everybody who has the humility to come back and give their fellow players another chance and forgive them, even when you're upset with them. Friendship and community are really difficult. Meaningful bonds, the bonds we need to form between us that are meaningful, are not going to be formed without some sacrifice from everybody involved. If you have a grievance with another player, or even a grievance with me, which has happened in the last 5 months for sure, I would ask you as a favor to do whatever you can to resolve that grievance. Forgiveness is always in season. Yep. Come talk to me. One on one about whatever the issue is. I'm going to do my best to resolve it between you and whoever the other person is, even if it's me. Um, it's what I'm here for. It's sort of my role as like community liaison or whatever you want to, excuse me, whatever you want to call it. I want everybody here to feel comfortable in the play space and to know that they can have a good time. So if it's ever not been true for you in the past, please come talk to me about it. Lastly, I'll just say I put a lot of time and effort into coming up with fun event ideas, trying to schedule them, promote them, but without community engagement, excitement, and enthusiasm, they're not going to pan out. And, you know, trying to keep the store open for really long hours into the night, if nobody takes advantage of them, doesn't help the community. So if you want for there to be a clean, fun, friendly place to go play Magic, if you enjoy there being a community here that you can be a part of, please, please contribute to that community. As a favor both to me and to your fellow Magic players, please help me make the Magic community here become better. Help it become the thing that we've all seen glimpses of: a fantastic group of folks to play your favorite card game with, a community to bond with, a place where whatever else is going on in your life or the world around us, we can all come, sit at a table together, and play games as friends. If you're listening to this message, I want you to know that I really enjoy you being here. My favorite part of this job is when the play space is full and people are having fun. It makes working long hours for no pay worth it. I absolutely believe that whatever is slowing down in-store play of Magic is fixable, but I need your help. Thanks. See you soon.